Hi guys, welcome to day 23 of the 60-day challenge. So we're more than a month now into the 3-month simulation challenge. Today was a day where I made a little bit of a loss, but it taught me some good things. And before I go into the trades, just want to make two announcements. One is that the journal, which I have called Total Trader, thanks Eric, great name, that will be released hopefully sometime at the end of this week, but if not, then next week. Now, that journal is going to be a really easy tool for everybody to use. So if you just want to input some trades and have them automatically worked out, a lot of these metrics and stats and charts, stay tuned or drop me a line. It's really exciting because I've got it in Excel format, but I'm working on something which I want to keep a bit of a surprise. But I think you'll like it. So that is upcoming. The second announcement, also a big announcement from my perspective, is that this is my last week of paper trading. I've decided that after 4 weeks of practicing the strategy, working on my discipline, learning things about how I interact with the platform DAS, I think I'm ready to start live trading again. So Friday will be my last day paper trading. So the simulation challenge is not going to go for the full 60 days. It's going to stop at, I think, day 27 or day 28. So pretty much half. So half of the 3 months. And I realize that I'm ready for it now. There's only so much more I can squeeze out of being in a sim. But I know there's going to be a really big transition curve into live trading. So if I can just draw this for you, I'll show you. So imagine that this is your baseline. This is your knowledge. Then let's assume that this is when you become a trader, a successful trader, and you know what you're doing and you're consistently making profits. My opinion is that a simulator, when you start off here, I'll just draw a website. A simulator is going to help you maybe reach, I don't know, let's say. Actually, that's not a good tool. Let's just draw it. I think you start here, and I just want to draw free. What do you draw? Free. There you go. Free draw. I think that it'll get you to about maybe here, okay, which is a bit maybe half, roughly, right? If you want to argue. The reason for that is, I would even say less than half. The reason is because once you go, so this is paper trading, right? This is paper. And this is live. Now, the reason is quite simple. In here, you will learn the strategy, you will learn about risk management, and you won't learn a lot about psychology. You'll learn a little bit about psychology and emotions and discipline, but that is probably only 10% of really what you need to learn. I think it's like an iceberg. I think that this is where it gets interesting. Once you go live, all of this, whether it's up and down, and it will be, for me, it'll be like this. It'll be like this. I mean, I may even dip below this. I may have to go back to paper trading at some stage. But until I get to here, which is obviously the kind of, I wouldn't say nirvana because you never reach that, but you know, me being consistently earning, say, $300, $400, $500 a day, before I get to that, this is where I'm going to struggle. And I will use the word struggle, not in a negative way, but just in a way that I've done it before. I've lost $5,000 twice in 2 separate time periods when I went live. Now, knowingly, I didn't have as much knowledge as I do now. I didn't have as much discipline as I do now, and I had a very completely different strategy as opposed to what I have now. So taking all that into consideration, I don't expect it to be as difficult as it was. But the point is, I've come here. This is the point I've reached. And if I continue paper trading, then this is what's going to happen. I'm just going to be sitting below this line here, and you know, while I'll make money in the simulator, I'm never really going to be tested in the real environment. Now, this is where it's going to get tough. Tough in the sense of knowing how to be very disciplined, knowing, you know, that risk management is key, and psychology. You know, they're the things. Like when I say psychology, I don't mean, you know, in a very general way, but I mean psychology in the sense of not getting emotional, not revenge trading, only taking the best setup. So I think I've reached the end of the road with the simulator. The simulator is there to help you get to know your platform and practice your strategy. You know, there's a lot of things that I don't feel right now, which I do feel with real money. One of them is, you know, when your heart beats that much quicker, when you've got real money on the line, and, you know, whether you're making money or losing money, you know, that is always there. And I think that is a very important part of trading. Without that, it's not real. So that's why I decided that Friday will be my last day. And then it may take me a couple of days to set everything up. But anyway, let's go through the trade. So we traded, my P&L today is minus $58.50. I made a little bit on AMD, which I don't like, and I'll get into that. ANF was a really nice short, nice price action. AVO was the opening range, low float momentum. NVDA today was difficult. I mean, I lost $410 going long on it, and I lost $7.75 going short. So I really messed up NVIDIA and just took way too much size, which is also where I'm getting a little bit unstuck with the simulator. I'm trying my best to keep it real and do everything I can, but I've come to a stage where I think I know it quite well, and I think I'm now not taking it as seriously as I probably could and should. Anyway, so let's go through AVO first. So this was the opening range low flow momentum stock. This had a decent risk reward of 2.8. Now, something that Andrew mentioned in the chat, which is a really interesting way of looking at low float stocks, and something I'll consider learning, is that when they come out of the open, right, when they jump out of the gates, which is here. Let me get my tool. What you want to do is you want to find a support level somewhere. Like in this case, it's 297, which is the 50-day moving average. And what normally happens is they tend to sell off a little bit, right? So what you do is you buy a little bit here, then you buy a little bit possibly here, and then a little bit tiny more here. So that your position is your average is as low as possible. And most of the time, what happens is they sell off a little bit and then they spike up like this, right? This, as you can see, fell a little bit. I mean, really long kind of doji candle here. And I bought here 400 shares, and I think another 200 and 400 here. And then I sold in, I think in 4 lots or 5 lots, 3, 4, 5, right? Tickets for today were 43, so a little bit more, probably 30% more than what I wanted to do. So I did overtrade. But this was, I think, a decent, whatever it was, I remember, let me just move this back. That was $67. So that's it. That was just a nice trade. Yeah, nothing more to comment on that one. Let's go NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I got really wrong today. NVIDIA is a type of stock where it doesn't always lend itself to being easy. Some days it's I wouldn't say easy, wrong word, but some days it's predictable. Because the momentum is just so strong in one direction that you can just jump on the bandwagon and follow the balance of power. But then some days you have something like this. Let me just remove those marks. You have something like this, where I traded it 3 times and twice I got it wrong out of 3. The first time I went long, thinking, okay, you know, it's got this momentum, it seems to be building up. Okay, I think it's going to go this way. But no, you know, and I added here, here, and here, and then I got out for a loss. That was a big loss. I don't know how much it was, probably about $100 most likely. Then I went short, and I shorted here, so I flipped it, right? If I can't go long, I'll go short. So I flipped it here. I went short here. I added, rode through this, which is really silly because I normally wouldn't have held through this. Once again, the paper trading is just, I think it's reached its maximum kind of output for me. Not output, but the maximum I can gain from it, or as much as I think I can reasonably. And I covered here and I made a win. But this is not realistic because I would have been stopped out because this went above VWAP. So that's the second trade. So this is really a loss anyway. This is a loss. So 0 out of 3 today. And the third is a loss as well. So NVIDIA today, very choppy. This is the kind of choppiness you don't want to have. And I'll show you what is a really nice price action that you want to be seeing, and that's ANF. That's this. I mean, look at this. It's a nice downward momentum. You know, a couple of little bounces, but nothing to scare you out, nothing kind of squeeze you out. And it's just an easier trade than NVIDIA was today, and had good volume here for the most part as well. Or pretty much a million shares almost every 5 minutes. So just a nice, solid trade here. I got in just below the VWAP. My risk was 16. So actually the risk reward wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was only 1.5, so 1.5, less than 2. but I was making 24 cents and I was prepared to lose 16. So not too bad risk reward. Obviously 2 would be better and higher, but nonetheless, you know, just a nice slow kind of burner. It wasn't anything quick like NVDA. It didn't have these massive, you know, choppiness. Just had nice slow downward action. So a good spot, and thank you, Ryan, for this one as well. So this was just a decent solid trade. So happy with this one. And the last one was AMD. Now AMD, I don't like trading AMD, and I've mentioned this before, and the reasons are, for me, that ATR of 77 cents is just, for me, it doesn't act like a 77-cent stock would. In other words, it doesn't act like a stock that has 77 cents range on the day. For me, it's just it's so liquid, and so many people trade this that it's really difficult to find a momentum. There's just so many buyers and so many sellers that no one really gets the upper edge. They're just constantly fighting each other the whole time, and no one really comes out on top. You get this tiny little kind of, you know, downward pushes like you did here. But these are rare. These are very rare. And this basically happened because in conjunction with NVIDIA was going down at the same time. So they kind of tend to mirror each other. But I haven't had a lot of success trading this in the past, either going long or short. I mean, it moves in so little increments. Like, you know, look at this. I mean, this is okay. Right. Let's assume, right? Let's assume that you get in here at VWAP, right? Which is wrong. Sorry guys, this shouldn't be 50.97, this should be 13.54. So I actually took one of my indicators here rather than $13.54. So even if you got in at 13.54, right, and you held till it went red on the day, which is 13.36. What's that? 54.36. That's 18 cents. 18 cents. That's not a lot of range, and that's your kind of best case scenario. So unless you take a really big position, like 1,000 shares, which I'm not prepared to do, you're not going to make a lot of money on this because it just doesn't have those kind of swings. It's not as volatile. That's what I'm trying to say. But look, I mean, it's still a decent stock, and you know, most people say it's great to make money on. I personally, no, it doesn't work for me. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Hopefully, you know, the next 4 days, I will be as solid and as I have been for the last 30 or 23 or 24 days. I am taking this seriously because I'm putting everything in my journal, so I won't be taking any shortcuts at all. But you know, I feel like I'm kind of, you know when you're surfing and you kind of crest that wave and you're, you know, really going quick and you're just getting the maximum velocity, there comes a point where that wave recedes and it loses its momentum, and I think that's where I am at the moment. So, you know, it's been, I'm not going to say that I've finished with paper trading because it, you know, very realistic that, you know, things don't work out as soon as I go back to live trading, and I might have to go back into the simulator. But look, you know, let's leave that for the future. So 4 days to go, you know, really exciting journal coming out. You know, hopefully when I do these live, you know, you guys can learn a little bit more as well about how I do things. And please shoot me off any questions or queries you have. I'd love to talk to you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.